My name is Colin Fiddler. I am from Nashville, Tennessee, in the USA, and I have just finished a 9-day retreat at Nemiakaya. Um, I learned about ayahuasca when maybe 10 years ago and had read about it and thought, well, I don't know how to get into the jungle, and that seems like something I can't do. And at that time, I don't know if I needed it, but it's always been in the back of my head, and it was something that I knew existed and felt that it was something that I could include in my healing journey at some point in my life. And so one day the calling came back, and I felt that it was important that I try to do it. And I sat with it for a couple of years and knew that I wanted to come to Peru, knew that I wanted to come and do it with the Shipibo people. And so I did a ton of research and a ton of trying to find the best center to go to, and I was being very strict with my decision making. And one thing that helped actually was the testimonials. There was someone who I knew who did a testimonial that I hadn't connected with in a very long time, and I saw that, and that clicked, and I knew that I'd made the right decision with Nemiakaya. And I think a lot of people who are looking for places will find the website and find it informative and see the research behind it. And I think you can trust that. That is what you will receive when you come here. Ayahuasca is an incredible medicine. It is powerful and revealing, and I think if you are interested in healing and you feel the calling, because I know that everyone here did feel called to do it, and if you feel that, then this is definitely a wonderful place to choose. I found that everyone was incredible. The facilitators, the volunteers were all very helpful, and they say that working with ayahuasca, here they say, and they were open about it, and I appreciated it, that this is work. And it is work, and I don't know if I understood what work meant. You think about work in the context of going to your job and chatting with your coworkers and sending emails. And I think in the Western world, that's what we think work is. And I think we've really misconstrued what work is. And I don't know if I knew what work is, and it is work. And I gave a lot of lip service to that before this, but in the middle of it, you find that out. And the people here are so helpful and here to make you feel like you have space to do that work. And that I could not do it on my own. And I needed the people here, and I needed help, and they were here to help. And it's okay. That's okay. You don't have to do the work all on your own. And there's a reason that there are multiple facilitators, both during the ceremonies and during the time you're here, just in the downtime or the yoga, the meditations. They're always here to talk. You can always ask someone. And I did ask for, hey, could I have an aside with someone? I'm having a hard time because it's not easy, but it is worth it. I came here having some ideas of things that I thought that I needed to work on, and I don't think they were wrong. I came with intentions, and I think they were deep and they were important, and they're still important to me. But what ayahuasca does is, you may come with some intention, but she really shows you the root cause. And she's pulling up your issues by the root, as Matt, the facilitator, says. She's pulling up these issues by the root, and so you might come here with an intention and what you want to heal, and it might not be what you thought it was going to be, but it is what you need. And I found that it was what I needed to even begin to work on some of the other intentions that I had. So my ceremonies were, they were good and they were hard, and some of them were painful, but they were what I needed. And it is pretty incredible how intelligent ayahuasca is, and how she works with you exactly how you need. During my first ceremony, I was given this grand tour by what felt like a presence, and what did feel like a motherly presence, and she showed me all of this, all of these incredible landscapes and these incredible worlds, and I felt this vibration of love and beauty behind everything that I was seeing, and thinking about past partners and my family and friends and people I maybe didn't get along with. I just felt so much love for everyone. And I felt as though that was like a tour. I was getting a tour of what can happen. And then I was excited. And I think it was exactly what I needed, because I came to this with a lot of trepidation and a lot of fear. And she was able to show me that I could work with her, and that she would take care of me. And that was beautiful. The second ceremony was a lot harder, but it was good work. I've dealt with fear my whole life, and I have dealt with childhood fear that just I was afraid of everything when I was a child. I don't know what it was, and I'm still learning about that, what that could have been. But I had a lot of fear as a child, and a lot of that came up. And looking at it now at the end of this experience, I do have this eagle-eye view of it, but in the moment it was so difficult to confront that fear, and I was very scared. But the facilitators were there, and one of our facilitators, Minhas, I opened up to him and said, Minhas, I'm scared. And he told me, it doesn't have to be scary. And it doesn't have to be scary, but sometimes you do, but you will have to deal with the things that you've come here to heal from, and the things you've come here to confront, because confronting them is the only way to heal from it. And so I do feel like it doesn't have to be scary, but it is intense, and it is work. And I think that it's important to realize that when you're coming to this, really understanding what work is, and if you're like me, I haven't done a lot of emotional work. I think I've done a lot of distracting, and a lot of lip service, and a lot of negotiating with myself and my ego. And ayahuasca won't let you do that. You have to do the work here, but it's really, really, really worth it. My third ceremony was very beautiful. I felt at one with my childhood self. I felt a connection that allowed me to sort of talk to him and say, it's okay. You're going to be okay. You are okay. You can let go of that fear. And it was incredible. And I let go of a lot. And I remember the first two ceremonies, all I wanted to do was go to bed in the Maloka, where you take the ayahuasca and sit with the shamans. And that night I wanted to get up, and I played guitar on the water tower, which is so beautiful here. You'll watch the sunrise and the sunset and just hang out up there. If you come here, it's very beautiful. But the weight that was lifted off of me was amazing, and I really couldn't have done it without the conversations I've had with the facilitators, the volunteers, and also the people who are here with you. My fourth ceremony, I had to confront that fear again, and I had to let go of it. And when I finally was able to, when I was finally able to let go and realize that fear was I took a real look at what I was afraid of, because I just had this fear, and I was able to understand that maybe this fear is only fear. It isn't me being afraid of something. It's just a way for my ego to try and be in control. It's a way to feed my ego, to be afraid and to have fear. And when I looked as deep down as I could, I found out that the thing I was afraid of was nothing. It was just, I was holding on to fear, and it was allowing itself to manifest in all sorts of ways, all sorts of scenarios I would make up in my head to be afraid of. And I know I have a lot more work to do, but if I was able to dig that deep and to see that fear was just an expression of my ego trying to hold on to control, then that is about the greatest gift I've ever received in my life. I think that I feel lighter, and if I can continue with this work, which I know I will through integration after this process, then I think that there's a way for me to come out and really take charge of my life in the ways that I want to, that I felt like complacency and being afraid of failure or being afraid of anything wasn't allowing me to do before I came here. So you're gonna work hard coming here, but it's 100% worth it. And it's not just the ayahuasca. It really isn't, or the shamans. They are incredible, and I think a lot of the stuff that needs to be taken away, stripped down, brought to the surface is done by the ayahuasca and the shamans, and they're very important. But the conversations you have with the other guests, the connections you make, the integration circles after your ceremony night will be just as important as taking the ayahuasca and what the shamans are doing. I couldn't have done it without these people, and they do a really good job here of making you feel like you can talk to everyone. And I know there's a sense of vetting that they do, and trust that, because the people here are coming here for the right reasons, and you found this place for the right reasons. If you are deciding to come here, you want to heal and you want to work on yourself, and you're not coming here to take a wild drug in the jungle, even though in the middle of it sometimes you think, what am I doing in the middle of the jungle, out of my mind? Trust the process. I don't know if I ever got that until the very end, but you can trust the process. Something that I do want to say too, to anyone out there, if they do watch this, is that I had a lot of trepidation with what I think a lot of us call the woo-woo and the new age, and that worried me a lot when I was picking a place. And a lot, I would look through some of the recommended readings at other retreats and decide very quickly that no, this place is not for me. So I want to say that they do a really good job of staying grounded in reality and treating this like medicine, while also being respectful and understanding and letting you immerse yourself in the traditions of the Shipipo people. There is a science to this, but we don't understand it, and we don't have to. And everyone, I think, has their interpretations, but everything here is very grounded. And the meditations, the yoga, you won't feel as though you're having to buy into some sort of worldview. You can really let this journey be what it is. And that was something I was really worried about. And I think they do a really good job here of letting people make their own decisions on that. I was never pushed to feel like I needed to believe in something. There was a lot of great conversations, and some of them were more out there, but anything that was part of the curriculum or part of what we were doing here, any of the scheduled events were all very grounded, and I felt like I had a safe place to not have to buy into parts of this world that maybe I'm not ready to buy into yet, or maybe I don't believe. And it was really open with what you could take from the medicine, and that was really important to me. And I think that probably there's people out there, especially as ayahuasca is becoming more mainstream, that maybe are wanting to experience this but aren't ready to jump into a world that maybe can feel like you could get caught up in. So I want to say that Nimiakai did a really good job of that, and I really appreciate that, because that was a big fear of mine when and trepidation when I thought about coming and doing this in the jungle. You don't feel like you're being forced in anything, or you need to buy into any sort of belief system when you're here. So that's really important. I can't speak for everyone, but from what it seems like, it does seem like everyone has received something that will help them immensely. And This is, like I said, the insights that I received, I don't understand why I received them. I don't understand why I would go to an infinite, unexplainably foreign landscape for an hour and come out of it and just realize these deep insights that I've needed more than anything else in my life. But you don't have to understand it, because ultimately what's happening is you're healing, and that's what this medicine is doing. Is it's a healing medicine. It's a gift, and it's a gift you can give yourself, and you will absolutely not regret it. It doesn't seem like anyone else here did, even though in moments I thought that I would regret it, sitting on the toilet in the Maloka, sweating and thinking, I want to go home. What have I done? You just breathe through those hard moments, and there's volunteers to help, and it's work, but it's worth it. So come to Nemiakaya, enjoy yourself, come with nervousness and fears and worries, but know that you are in good hands and you can trust what this is, and you don't have to explain it, but you will heal, and you will find new ways to heal in that journey. So thank you, Nemiakaya.